Cześć, my name is Anita Ulikowska.
My name is Anna Siemiączko and we are your local foreigners.
Today we've got a beautiful summer day, which is, well, it can be quite rare in Britain. So we decided to take this opportunity while we're in this summer vibe and talk about the summer in Britain and summer in Poland. I wanted to start off with asking you, what are the first things that come to your mind when you think British summer?
Parks, alcohol, specifically pimps.
Yes.
Gin and tonic, actually, very summery.
Is it because it's your personal
It's my
favourite?
personal favourite, particularly in the summer. Can't wait for a winter episode when I just say the same things.
Yeah.
Gin and tonic is a very winter kind of a drink.
Yeah, exactly.
And strawberries and cream.
Yeah, very British. I think so. Yeah.
Right? That's very, very summer, very British.
Mm.
Flip-flops.
Yeah. Super British, super summery.
Flip-flops when it's not even flip-flop season. I think that's a very British thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously flip-flops are popular all over the world, but I think it's only in Britain you see people wearing flip-flops in absolute cold spring weather still, wondering why. But I think they're already sensing the summer. Maybe it's the flip-flops just inviting the summer over.
Or trying to impose summer when it's not around. It's like, we will make it summer.
Yeah. No matter the temperature, summer's here, we're wearing flip-flops.
Yeah. But I think, okay, so actually let's stop here because this is a really funny subject. I must say that when I first came to Britain, I was very confused about the flip-flop culture.
Flip-flop culture.
The most confusing thing
Yeah.
was that I vividly remember, okay, this is my university years and it is in Cardiff. I don't know whether it makes a difference.
Uh-huh.
It was also like 10 years ago. Maybe things have changed. But I do remember people wearing, you remember the boots called UGG, I think? UGG. Like
I think so.
UGG.
I was not part of the trend.
It's like those, like, they are like winter boots. I think they are made of like, I don't know, in my head, they're made of like a camel leather.
Camel leather?
And they are
sounds
quite
very
well
suspicious.
insulated. It's like this boot that if you were a kid and you were to draw a boot, that's how you would draw the boot. That's literally the profile of the boot.
Okay.
You must have seen them. They're like above the ankle.
That's my research for later.
Okay, anyway, I'm sure you must have seen it. Anyway, it's like a winter, to me, it's like a winter boot because it's very thick, insulated leather boot above the ankle.
Okay.
So so the paradox for me was that I would see people wear those in the summer and then wear flip-flops in winter.
I know.
Right?
Do you think that's only Wales though? Because I haven't seen anyone wearing flip-flops in winter since I moved away from Cardiff. But I had a really good friend, if you're listening, Simon, I'm talking about you, who wore flip-flops. There was definitely a year when he wore flip-flops all year long, including winter.
Yeah.
And I just remember, being completely dressed up with a hat. I think he was actually wearing a hat and gloves and everything, and he was still wearing flip-flops.
Yes.
How on earth can you not freeze wearing flip-flops? They're definitely a very British thing. I think we do. Obviously, we have flip-flops in Poland, and there's lots of stereotypes of what we don't have in Poland. Mm-hmm. And we have polar bears, and we don't have electricity. We don't have internet, but we do have flip-flops. So that's definitely, we do have flip-flops, but we don't really tend to wear them as much outside, I don't think. Like, you would have them in a swimming pool, like kind of more lido situation, beach, shower.
Actually, you might be right. Yeah.
But I don't think
I don't think the men
men
wear
never wear
flip-flops.
flip-flops. I don't think I've seen a Polish man wearing flip-flops.
No, but just Crystal.
If you are a Polish man listening to it and you have worn flip-flops, please come forward, because that's a revolutionary piece of information.
Yeah, we will make you famous.
We will make you famous. We'll set up your own Instagram account
to wear a flip-flop.
Yeah.
Also, the funny thing is that in Polish they're called the Japaneses.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I never thought about.
This is a really bad literal translation, but yeah, the Japan.
Do you think it's quite
The
racist?
Japanese is. No, I think it's just.
Why
comes
did
from
they call
fact
them
that-
the Japanese? Yeah,
Well,
the
the
Japanese.
culture, like
I know, but exactly,
the
but that's not.
kimono and the.
Yeah. I mean, I get the picture, but it's not the Japan like flip flops that traditional Japanese wear.
But maybe that's where they come from. I mean, I don't know the history of flip flops or the Japaneses,
Because it's kind
as
of
we
like
call them in Poland. But I would imagine. I don't think it's not anything insulting.
if we
anything,
wore
it's
like polar bear shoes made out of polar bears in Poland, you know, the ones that roam the streets all the time.
Yeah.
And we made those shoes and we exported them, and people would call them the Polish. Oh, what do you? I'm just gonna put the Polish on.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
two poles. Oh, my poles there in the corner.
But do you think it's
I don't know. I mean, I'm opening this up to debate.
yeah.
I never thought about it actually before. I actually forgot they were called the Japanese.
The Japanese. It's like, I think it's a bit like with, Russian pierogi.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe it's just like a food that comes from Russia. It probably comes from the Ukraine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny actually that it's like a little national trait of ours that we just like to name things. We just
Yeah.
attach really random,
Italian
not real,
nuts.
yeah, national names to things
Yes.
for no reason. There's no like logic in it.
Also, when we talked about tea and coffee, you remember? We called the tea with milk the Bavarian. That's also... Maybe we just
Yeah,
like
we
it
do.
to have it like located geographically.
Just love geography. Really good at geography.
Very good, yes. We're excellent geographers.
Yeah.
The Polish are. Okay, so moving on. What other things do you associate with the British summer? Or maybe summer in London? Maybe there's something specific about summer in London.
Can we talk about Pimm's for just like 2 seconds? Just because.
You love to go the topic of alcohol.
And actually gin and tonic as well. Because do you know what I find controversial?
Yes, please tell me.
Putting cucumber in drinks. Correct me if I'm wrong. We don't put cucumber in drinks. And I really find it troubling to see, correct me if I'm wrong, a vegetable in my drink.
Have you ever tried basil in your alcohol?
We're not talking about basil, Anita. We're talking about cucumber. It's a really serious thing that's like widespread in the UK, and that's something I couldn't understand. And I would always fish the cucumber out of my glass every single time someone put it.
Yeah. Okay, I do not. Okay, I must say I think I came across a vegetable of cucumber in my drink
A vegetable of cucumber.
when I was living in the UK as well. So they introduced me to that
Right.
concept.
The vegetable of cucumber.
I assumed, don't know why, but I assumed that maybe the British know something that the rest of the world doesn't know about drinking, how cucumber enhances the flavor of Pimm's or...
You're very understanding,
Any
Anitka. The human being.
You just denied the concept of...
Yeah, I just
complete
scoffed at it. It's
rejection.
like, how ridiculous. And I just, yeah.
Really? So you think you've never seen it anywhere else?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think if we would put it in any drink. And we have gin and tonic as well in Poland. Not so often, but obviously we do. And I don't think we put lemon and orange and all that.
Put lemon everywhere.
We put lemon. We love lemon. But who doesn't love lemon? Yeah, but not cucumber. So just putting it out there. It's not...
I haven't noticed that. But to be fair, we make a soup out of a cucumber. Fermented cucumber.
I know, it's so good. But it must sound weird.
Oh, actually, that's like... let's talk about this when we talk about the Polish summer. Chłodnik. But we'll come to it. The cucumber is going to be like threading through this conversation, I feel. Because it is a very summery vegetable. To me, like when I eat a sandwich with cucumber, that's for me, it's like breathing in the summer.
Yeah, it's really refreshing. Like, I'm not against cucumber in general in life. I think it's a beautiful vegetable. Mm-hmm. I hope it's a vegetable. Maybe it's like a tomato and it's a fruit. but hopefully it is a vegetable. And it's delicious. And it's very summery. It's really refreshing. But just when you mix it with a drink, and I find it just, I don't know, a bit odd. But then who are we to criticize if we eat cucumber soup, right?
To me, one of very British summery things is Wimbledon and tennis.
Yes.
I love the fact that for a few weeks in summer, everybody in this country turns into tennis total fans, experts, followers. They're glued to their TVs. They go to the Wimbledon courts. They follow it with a whole heart. And I think it's such a... I don't know, there's something really cool about it. And so I know that you went to Wimbledon for the first time this year. So
yes, I did.
Please tell us about the experience of Wimbledon, and especially the queue, because the queue to get into the courts tends to be super long for anyone who doesn't know what Wimbledon is. But it's so long that people apparently come in, like, they camp overnight to avoid the queue, or to be in the queue at the start queuing very early on. And apparently it's like an experience in itself. So you queued this time, right?
I queued.
So,
I mean, the only time, because I'm one of those people every year kind of getting into tennis and always forgetting the rules. And it's only for Wimbledon. But this year I got into it more properly, so I actually watched more games and I kept on top of everything, and I found it really fun. And a group of friends always goes to Wimbledon every second Tuesday of the tournament, and I decided to join them this year, and it was great fun. We did not camp, we queued. It still meant getting there for 6:30 in the morning.
wow.
And the gates opening at 10, so you kind of just slowly moving forward. But it's really fun, and I guess there was 7 of us as well, so we kept each other entertained, and we had a great time. I think if you're maybe queuing on your own, it's less fun because you have to kind of just wait your...
But am I correct thinking that if you get there for 6 a.m. or 6:30, so that means that you're gonna queue for at least 4 hours before you get in?
Yeah, guaranteed queuing for 4 hours. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But it's really fun. There's like things along the way, and there's little freebies, and there's like free coffee, and there's like hot food on the way. So it's like you keep, there's things happening, like little things jotted around. So it's not just a barren land and you're queuing, and
it's really hard.
And it's really like, it's nice, and it's like in the shade and by the golf course, obviously, because of Wimbledon, and so it's a really cool experience. And then you get there, and you're a bit tired, but then you get there and you've still got that time to grab some food and coffee, and then you go to your respective court, whatever you got tickets for.
Yeah.
And it's just such great fun, and very British in that way. And then you've got your strawberries and cream that they sell, and Pims. So I got both overpriced strawberries and cream and Pims, because I thought it's my first time, I'm going to have it all, I'm just going to tick those boxes.
Yeah.
And that was really great fun. Very summery. You get burned just sitting there, obviously, because it's a total sun trap. So you see very many pink people around you, just burned to crisp.
And I've been to Wimbledon twice, I think, maybe 3 times. And I went to, but I never queued, so that's why I was interested in what your experience was. But I really enjoyed... Well, I had tickets to the centre court, that was amazing. But I do remember that we were under this, like... There were seats above us, which meant that we were kind of like over the roof, which meant that it was quite dark where we were sitting, which was good in a sense that we didn't get burned. But because it was dark this whole time, I got so sleepy. It was so interesting to be there, but I just couldn't not keep myself awake because I was so sleepy from the lack of sunshine. So that was one of the things I remembered. Another thing that I really, really enjoyed was the experience of just sitting on the hill.
Yes.
So just being apart from the course, there's also an area called the Hill, which is basically...
Is it Hammond Hill?
A hill. Oh, possibly.
I think it's named after the English player who won Wimbledon, first time.
There you go.
And
A bit of
now
history.
I think people keep calling it the Murray Mount now because Murray was the second male, like Wimbledon winner.
I prefer calling it just
But
the
don't you
hill.
really enjoy the hill?
The hill. Yeah.
But don't you enjoy the British kind of creativity with names? You know, it's like the headline creativity. We don't really have that. You know,
The
you've got
puns.
the puns. Like you've got the Herman Hill, but the Murray Mount. What if there's someone with like a K surname? I'm sure they would come up with something.
Yeah,
People just like have this ability to just
They do.
pun away, which I don't think we pun a lot in Poland.
I don't think we do.
That's why we haven't got that ability. I can't pun. I'm really bad with puns.
For a long time I didn't understand what a pun was.
That's a different level. First we understand what a pun is.
Then we use it.
Then we understand the pun.
Then we understand.
And then we create our own pun.
But also,
which stage are we at now?
Stage at I understand what the pun is. I can understand the pun very often, but I still don't understand why people say "excuse the pun." Well, you've obviously deliberately used a pun for like to create a
That's
funny
true.
situation. So that still baffles me when people say pun and then excuse the pun.
Because I think they kind of
what's wrong with that?
they know they're being really corny, but they can't help it. So they try to kind of salvage themselves by saying, "Oh, excuse the pun, I'm not really that, but ha ha ha, I just dropped it in there." I guess
They just come out all the time. I can't stop it.
Can't help it.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, back to summer though.
Summer, we've done Wimbledon,
tennis,
and
super British summery, I think.
strawberries and cream and pims,
Yeah.
and cucumbers.
Is there
Parks.
anything else that comes to mind?
Parks.
Yeah, and what's British and what's summery about it?
Well, first off, I think the park is like the assemble ground for first ray of sunshine.
Yes.
Sometime in April. Temperature breaks over 20 degrees. Everyone rushes to the park from the offices. So all of a sudden,
Yeah.
every green area of, say, London, because London's where we live, is packed out with people. Mm-hmm. You know, you're still a bit shivering with cold. It's still not really hot enough to be sat outside, but you are sitting outside because it's sunny, and you think the summer has begun.
Yes.
And therefore you're going to sit on that grass and have your lunch in the park rather than in your office canteen or something. And I think that's a big thing. And people use the parks, and parks are for the people, and I think that's a really beautiful thing. You'd always just go to the park or via a park. You'd have your barbecues in the park, you have your drinks in the park, you have your lunch in the park. It's like a very integral part of British life. Unlike Polish life, where parks are still they're smaller,
Protected.
very protected. You can't sit anywhere.
Yeah, you can't step on the grass. I mean, I have seen parks where you can do that now, but I remember the shock of seeing someone in Britain stepping on the grass. Like there was just this internal something I couldn't stop. It was
Did you feel like running to them and saying, "Step out!
Please, don't damage the grass.
Don't hurt the grass."
Yeah, I was. The funny thing is that I was always against that law or law regulation in Poland, but yet it managed to develop that internal fear of touching the grass for me. So I mean, I was like, my first reaction was like, oh my god, those people are crazy. They're actually, are they gonna get? And then I realized actually you can step on the grass. And also, I just think it's
And
the best
everything
thing
changed
ever.
from that point onwards.
Yes, I was never the same person again. No, I love this British park life culture of, like you said, just almost living in a park after work and bringing your flip flops and your frisbees and your disposable barbecues. I think it really feels like this sense of community is strengthened through that park life for those few weeks in the summer.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, everybody plays a ball, everybody's like just so chilled and relaxed, and I love it.
Yeah, it just meets up everyone just meets up in the park. And I love the fact that you don't have to have anything with you, because I think like in Poland, if we go to a park or any sort of green area, wherever, we kind of tend to prepare ourselves. So we'd have a blanket, and we'd have, we'd have some food and have this. But I love the fact that you can just be literally walking from your office. You can be wearing a suit, and you want to just sit down and just relax somewhere green, and you just sit down on the grass.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you don't need anything with you. And however you're dressed, wherever you are, there's always a park you can just sit in and spend your time however you like.
Yeah, and then another summery thing is that in some parks you would have the occasional lido, and that's another very summery thing. I've actually only had I've been to one lido before, and it wasn't like a proper lido, not like I imagined it, in the sense that it was just a swimming pool that was outdoors.
Isn't that what lido is? So?
I actually thought maybe it is actually. I almost thought it's like a little lake that you're allowed to swim in, because you're not allowed to swim in most of the lakes, right? It's quite.
I'm not even sure. I've never really done that in the UK. Mm-hmm. But I was very much against lidos for a very long time, and I never went in Poland. Yeah, I was not really interested because I thought they would be always overcrowded and dirty and just. And then I think I'd started going with a friend of mine to the one in Brixton, Hen Hill, and I really loved the experience. And yes, it was super overcrowded, and the queues were super long. But again, it was not clean either. But somehow it was okay. There's somehow like this really kind of charming experience of having really overfried chips by the pool with really cold water. And then, you just have a bunch of mates and it's just fun. And you kind of forget that you're in this urban jungle and there's people all over. Yeah, and I kind of just grew fond of the idea.
You see, it's interesting because you have a very good attitude. I think it's your mindset that played nice trick on you, that's forced you to I think you just said to yourself, I'm gonna enjoy this no matter what. For me, the experience of lido did the opposite. It actually just reminded me that I live in this concrete jungle, because I'm laying on concrete in front of this pool, which is full of people. There's people everywhere. You have to overpay for everything. And it just reminded me, for me, that was like a little essence of living in London.
So and I can see how you would hate it though. Like, it's very easy to see why it's like you'd imagine this and think it's not what I want to be. I don't know, maybe it's just because I had really good memories of it with good friends and it was always fun. Yeah. But I think given the choice, I'd rather go to the seaside. But there's something cute about lido experience. I think it's I enjoyed it more in Britain than when I went in Poland, because I think as in general life, like British life, there's less, especially for women, I think there's less judgment, there's less body shaming in Britain in general.
I think so.
My experience of Polish lidos was just for the specific people, like young and skinny and hot, and everyone else was kind of unofficially not welcome, and everyone got that vibe. So if you were not within that bracket, and I was never within that bracket, or I never felt within that bracket, you would kind of stay out. So it's yay British lidos, inclusive,
yes,
welcoming.
Yeah. So in a sense, like I said, lido is like a microcosm of the British life.
Yeah,
it's
like lido is like a mini London in the summer.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe I should write about that.
Yeah, how philosophical. Okay, so moving on. So we talked a lot about the British summer. Now I would love to talk about the Polish summer and find out if you think that. So what are what's the first moment of summer for you in Poland?
Strawberries. But like we were talking before the show, is that moment when your mum brings in a huge bag of strawberries from local market. But like we're talking kilograms. Like June, to me, are strawberries, and I actually really miss that. I really it breaks my heart to go into to not really have genuine lovely little markets, at least where we live, really. London doesn't really have that. Just like low-key cheap markets. You know, you have to go to a shop to basically see a little box of strawberries.
Yes.
They're £3 and there's like 10 strawberries in there and you think, wow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. I've got just strawberries in a plastic box. That's super overpriced.
Super, yeah, exactly. I was this morning we had breakfast together, and we had specifically 4 strawberries. It was crazy that I actually bought a big box of strawberries this time, like the really big one. Well, really big one for Britain. It was just like I could literally count those strawberries really quickly, and I got to the point that because they got so expensive, I tend to have my morning porridge with strawberries, but I know that I take only 4 strawberries for my porridge. And when I got to that point, when I started counting the strawberries, I felt really upset that I don't have this like liberty with strawberry eating anymore because it's such an expensive product here.
Yeah, for no reason. I don't understand why. Because it's local and it's also like really quick thing to grow. Like it's not complicated. So we're really, really upset about this. So
yes.
Anyone from strawberry industry, I mean, let's do something about that.
Change your game. When your mom comes from whatever with bags full of strawberries, that's also when like the summer season has officially begun.
Yeah.
And like you said, you just keep on eating them to the point that you're just so full that you're bursting with strawberries, and it's like, it's so beautiful. Yeah, strawberries definitely very summery.
Poland's I think we're more in sync with season. I don't know. And I'm not sure about now in the context of just global warming, but even like feeling that summer in the air. And I remember arriving in the UK 10 years ago now and really missing the seasons because you can just feel that the summer's arrived. There's some quality in the air that's different from the spring.
Yeah, I agree.
And you just feel it, and everyone kind of looks around and goes, I think it's summer, like summer's arrived. And you just, and that's a beautiful moment. I miss those moments when you go, the autumn's coming. It's just something about the air. It's not summer anymore. And it's so beautiful. I love that. But because in Britain, there's basically the long season of very cold, warm weather. Maybe it's 2 seasons at most of this like vague average temperatures. So there's definitely no seasons. And yeah, I miss that.
Yeah, me too. And I coming back to foods and specifically summer foods. I mean, like there is concept of summer foods still. I think in the summer we would change our diets depending on what's in the season in terms of vegetables and fruit.
Yeah.
And I would say that that's also changing in Poland now, because I can see, like, for example, strawberries are available all year round. They just like...
It's a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's still more in sync with seasons, as you said, I would say, too.
Do you think that people have like slightly different like menus? Like they would eat lighter meals. They would have new potatoes.
So. Right? You would eat chłodnik, which is cold soup. It would translate, right? As cold soup. And it's basically kefir with... I started pronouncing it the British way. Kefir. The accent is on the kefir, and it's got often cucumber in it, but fresh cucumber, grated cucumber, and a bit of salt and dill, and you eat it with new potatoes, right? So you only eat that in summer.
So good.
Same for
beetroot one.
The beetroot, the one. Yes.
Oh my god, the beetroot ones. I mean, guys, honestly, you should, if you haven't already, find a Polish restaurant near you and go have one.
Yes, chłodnik. We're actually going possibly to a Polish restaurant after this, and I think I'm gonna have that beetroot chłodnik. It was so good last time I had it. Oh my god. Yeah, I love the fact there's Polish restaurants in London,
right?
Yes. Yeah. So chłodnik is one of those summery dishes. I would say, for example, so Hopefully many of you listening know what pierogi is.
Yes, of course. And
Polish
we've got
dumplings. And the filling also changes, right?
Yeah, wait for it. Because we've got in summer pierogi with
Strawberries.
and berries.
And berries. So strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. Blueberries and cream.
See, honestly, when we were talking about this, I feel like Poland's so great. I don't have often that feeling, but like,
You don't have to know.
oh my god, we do some things just right.
I know.
How amazing.
It is amazing.
It's a kind of that fruit and diet, and even though that sounds strange, and like pierogi with fruit sounds strange to a lot of people, but not to us because we grew up with that.
Yeah.
But also like pasta.
Right?
Because we have like pasta, so I would have pasta with just cottage cheese and sugar.
Oh, actually, yes.
Do you remember
that's
that?
True, that's true. Yeah.
And it was not like a cottage cheese you'd get in like a pot that's quite sour. It's just a block of cheese that you crumble.
Yes.
You crumble on
I
the
forgot
pasta
about that.
and you just put sugar, and it's so good. And it sounds bizarre, but it's so good. And like homemade apple jam. But you literally just like cook apples.
Yeah.
And then just add sugar, and then that's on your pasta. And I know it sounds bizarre again, but that's a very summery
I haven't
dish.
tried that with pasta. But coming back to the strawberry trend, I feel like basically my diet was strawberry diet when I lived in Poland in summer. So we would also have my mum would cook rice, and she would make strawberry sauce.
Yes,
So she would
with cream.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was definitely a
that's
thing.
what
I
we
love
had.
that there's a thing like across different like, regions because we're not from the same town
Yeah.
or from the same region. Oh, I love that. It's
Oh
like
my
a national
gosh.
thing.
Yeah, but actually, probably I wonder if you had that cherry soup. Or
No,
like
I haven't had
strawberry
cherry soup. Oh, strawberry soup. No, I haven't had
That
that.
like never
Your
went
face
down
says
well.
no.
No, so that's.
I mean, that's brave
think
though. I applaud the sheer creativity of literally using those strawberries to the limit.
To the limit, totally. Yeah, like the fact that we cooked so many things with strawberries is amazing. Is there anything else that's like really summery dish that's only in summer?
Because I feel like we just eat lighter at home. So you'd have new potatoes, and I'm telling you, that's one of the like number one things. That's oxymoron, but one of the like most important things, food things in my life: fresh new potatoes. There's nothing more, just tastier than fresh new potatoes, and that you get in the summer, early summer, and it's all. I think it only lasts for about 2 weeks or something, because then the potatoes like get less new. And just the taste of those little fresh new potatoes that people just eat with. I remember eating them with just like sour cream or kefir.
Or dill, just like
Yeah, because everyone's like, these potatoes are so delicious. We don't want to have anything else with them. We just eat potatoes.
Yeah.
That very simple diet with season, I think it's so brilliant. And I only start to appreciate it now, seeing what like global, obviously, trade and food production does to our planet. Just like eat potatoes for 2 weeks because they're in season. Like how amazing is that? We don't need to import anything or pollute environment any other way. Just like make everything out of strawberries because they're in season. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
That's great.
I do miss it a little bit. Another thing that is fruit related when it comes to summer in Poland is fruit picking, and specifically berry picking. In the summer, you would often go and pick berries, blueberries, and also those like wild strawberries, which I've never seen them.
Do you mean poziomki?
Poziomki.
Ah, they're called white strawberries.
I've no idea, but this is how the closest to,
because they're slightly smaller and they
taste different. They don't taste like raspberry. They don't taste like strawberry. They taste like.
I missed them now. I forgot they existed.
Right, exactly. So you would, and it was okay.
It's like such a food nostalgia trip. Like people probably just listening to this wondering like, we haven't heard of any of this. Like, what are you talking about? But note it down if you're ever in Poland or a Polish shop / Polish restaurant.
Yeah,
Try to get hold of those things because they're
Potemkin.
just so good.
But I think it would
Inside
be
knowledge.
almost impossible to get them abroad if like imported, because they are very like you can't. It's actually quite rare to even buy them, because sometimes
you'd always just go and pick them.
You have to pick them yourself, because it's not very. They are less common than blueberries. They are also, I would say, maybe a little bit smaller than blueberries, and therefore I think it's not economical to just spend hours picking them and then sell a little pot for loads of money. I think nobody would buy that. So people actually go, if you want to get them,
go and pick them.
Yeah, that's the way to go. And it's just a beautiful habit, and I definitely didn't appreciate it when I was a child, because I was just getting frustrated that it's, oh, grandma, it's so hard, babcia, I can't find anything, because my grandma was exceptional at spotting strawberry, blueberries and other berries. So I would always feel like I'm so frustrated, I don't want to be doing this. But now I understand the value of it in this, like, it was very bonding as well, like walking and looking for those berries together.
Yeah, like fruit picking in general. If you had a garden, you'd have fruit trees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you'd always just pick whatever your trees grew. And you'd always make some jams and marmalades and compote and juices and all kinds of stuff. And it was very much in sync. It was very much a part of your life, like annual routine.
Yeah.
You'd have everything in season. You remember about the seasons. Remember, it's like August, we have to go. If we have a piece of land or allotment, I guess that's a British word for it.
Yeah.
We need to go and pick apples because they're falling, or pears, or anything. And it's such a great, because I think in Britain in general, most people don't have that. Because I think the same way you wouldn't have big gardens, and maybe that's why parks are such an important summer thing, because your gardens are tiny, like super, super small, with not much in them and mostly flowers. So there's not, I guess it's only farms and farmers that would have direct access to fruit trees or fruit bushes, etc. So
I think so.
Definitely. I never appreciated it then, but I definitely appreciate it now. The whole experience of growing up with just being really close to nature and being really close to the seasons, understanding that and being part of it.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, growing your own food.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, which I don't do anymore. And it's, it's up to me to change that. I know it, but it's, I was doing it back then. Well, I was part of it because it was around. And here it's just not so common. Other very Polish summer things.
I like to flip this health.
Yes, let's
around.
stop talking about food.
No, actually, because I think on point to that, I think everyone's just, I bet you're all thinking, oh, the Poles living such a healthy life in Poland, everything's in season, and they just have these beautiful like meals, just like using strawberries, etc. But also a huge thing in Poland, like in Britain, are barbecues.
Oh.
But that's like big major thing. And at those barbecues, meat is absolute king everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's funny to talk about it from our perspective being vegetarian, but meat is absolutely number one at Polish barbecue, which is not so much at British barbecue. Obviously it is, but I think like Polish sausages on barbecue are like a must, absolute must. And they always hit and everyone loves them. And no one even bothers usually with salad or anything extra. You just have meat on your barbecue,
a piece of
bread, and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
So,
oh my god, that's so true. I never really thought about it, but you're so right. I do feel like there is a variety of foods in the UK, and obviously, I think there's a variety of diets as well. That's why people just understand that when you invite your friends, probably there's bound to be at least one vegetarian or vegan person. So the foods are slightly different, and also even when you have sausages, they're not like the Polish sausages. They are different.
Yeah.
I'm vegetarian, but I must say the one thing I miss from meat is the Polish sausage.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I do. I don't miss anything else from the meat kingdom, but I really miss the sausages. They are so good.
They're so big.
Yeah, that's great about them. Big, juicy Polish sausage. No. We can't talk about that because I'll turn meatarian.
Beer. Beer is a big thing. Beer with cordial and syrup.
Oh yes, raspberry syrup, right?
That's a big thing. That's a big summer thing. Rattlers. Mm-hmm. So I guess we share that with Germans.
Yeah, and they are in the summer in Britain too. Because I had a radler yesterday.
Oh, really? But I think it's more like shandy, which is different from like an actual radler where you buy in a bottle and you kind of have
the difference then?
I think they're pre-mixed and they're slightly. I think they're slightly different. They're not so beery because they're not. It's not just like beer with lemonade. That's a British shandy. Yeah. Like, a radler's more like lemony, I think, and it's a.
Yeah, maybe it's the thing about this like lemonade and lemon juice. Maybe that's...
Yeah, it's not like a more of a...
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there is...
flavour combination going on in the rattlers.
Can I add one more thing? Because we were talking about barbecues, but for me, another thing that I used to love to do that with my parents. Bonfires.
Yeah.
So there's another way of cooking your sausages if you're a meatarian. And it's bonfires. I don't think it's such a common thing in Britain.
Definitely not for like cooking your foods,
right?
Yeah,
exactly. I think bonfires just like, I don't know, maybe industrial when you have to like burn some garbage. But having bonfire for entertainment.
Yeah,
I've never been to a bonfire in the UK. And in Poland, they are quite common. So that, like, we actually, with my parents, we had like special place where you could have bonfire in a safe manner.
Yeah.
But you could like have them. I don't think you should, but people at least used to have them. Like, we'd go to the woods and have bonfire.
Yeah, we have a total disregard for any rules in Poland.
No,
I mean maybe it's changing,
safety.
But health and safety is a very. I mean, health and safety should be actual episode. We have no like regard for health and safety in Poland. Like whatever you can get away with, you can get away with. And bonfire is actually best example of that.
Yeah, bonfire in the middle of a forest.
Yeah,
why not? Let's have fun, right? And have some sausages.
Yeah, and you always have this one guy with like a sharp like knife. What do you call them?
Scyzoryk.
Yeah.
Pocket knife.
Pocket knife. Mm-hmm. That would just, they would find the branches and they would just sharpen the sticks for the sausages. So you literally just use any branch there.
Yes.
A piece of stick you find around you.
Yeah.
Sharpen the end so it's like pointy and then pierce the sausage and stab the sausage. And that's how, when you sit on the log by the fire and you... cook your sausage.
Yeah, you cook your sausage and then it also, at the end, sometimes you put potatoes in
I was just going to say.
Yes!
Potatoes. These are the best things ever.
So you put potatoes in the ashes of the burnt down wood. And
I think you just throw them in the fire and then they just wait till the end.
I thought my parents always buried them so that they don't actually burn, but they cook. With the heat of the ashes and the wood, like the logs.
That's so... I mean, the taste of those.
Right, oh my God.
Because you can taste that fire and you can taste that
like
ash.
The ash and the dirt. Like, it's very...
so good.
Very good. Oh my God, yes. I really would love to have a bonfire now.
Exactly. Maybe we'll start a trend.
Let's find the forest and...
we'll start a trend. If people start having barbecues in forests, whenever this podcast comes out, I think we were the reason.
Or if we start hearing about fires taking
fires
down the forest of Britain, we'll know that's our fault.
Of course they blame the Polish. Coming over here, starting fires. Typical. But to be honest, we did, we would be absolutely to blame.
Oh my God.
So I reckon we probably have covered most summery things.
I'm glad we had this conversation.
Yeah, we have actually uncovered so many memories.
Right?
That are things I haven't thought about in 10 years' time or more. So that's very, that's been brilliant for me and for you, and hopefully for you guys as well. Hopefully, if not our memories, maybe that kind of triggered your own memories of childhood summers. And if it has, then please send them our way. And wherever you're from, it'd be really interesting to hear about unusual summer activities, unusual summer food. Because it's fascinating, right? Like,
it is. I'm really curious to find out what summer means to people from different countries. So, yeah, like Anna said, please send your summer habits, your summer traditions, your whatever comes to your mind when you think summer. It would be really great to find out. So we're going to end here this very summer episode of Your Local Foreigners, where it was lovely to spend some time with you. We're really looking forward to hear from you, and we will hear you next time. Bye! Cześć!
do zobaczenia!
Pa, pa!